I am Jeannie McIntyre, and I have the privilege of serving as your president and CEO of the Greater Pompano Beach Chamber of Commerce, serving Margate and Lighthouse Point. I have been honored to serve on the External Economic Response Team for the City of Pompano Beach. The partnership with the City of Pompano Beach has provided ongoing dialogue and input into decisions that impact our community. As you will learn, the City of Pompano Beach has made significant progress on the General Obligation Bond, or GO bond projects. While we have all navigated through a year of disruption, the city has continued to work behind the scenes, improving the quality of life for our businesses and residents of Pompano Beach. It is now my honor to introduce to you the Mayor of Pompano Beach, Rex Hardin. Rex has been a voice of leadership for Pompano Beach for over 16 years, serving as a commissioner before serving as our mayor. Professionally, Rex owns Cypress Printing Center, a printing business located in Pompano Beach, which he has owned and operated since 1984. In addition to having the depth and breadth of experience with our city, like many of our members, the mayor has had to run a small business who has had to work through the challenges of this past year. From my perspective, I see a true servant leader who is always willing to support our community. And he has been out representing the city of Pompano Beach with his fellow commissioners, keeping a keen focus on how to make our community grow, thrive, and prosper. Please welcome Mayor Rex Hardin.
Thank you, Jeannie. I appreciate that intro, and welcome everyone to this presentation about our general obligation bond projects, that and other information about what's happening in the city of Pompano Beach. We've got a slide presentation prepared so you can go along with me as I explain what's been happening on our various projects. A lot of things have been happening in our GO bond realm, but we've got other stuff that's been happening also. But we're going to focus now on some real key infrastructure improvements which have been working their way through the ground. We've got our city staff, even though City Hall has been on lockdown, so to speak, during the pandemic, our city staff has been working full-time behind the scenes, remotely and at City Hall to make sure our projects stay on time and on budget. So we're going to go through a few right now. First, I'd like to highlight the A1a Undergrounding Project. That's, we're putting all of the overhead utilities underground along A1a. In addition to that, we also have some streetscape improvements. We have landscaping improvements, all in an effort to make A1a a sparkling gem for our city. We know it's key for our economic redevelopment in Pompano Beach, so we want to make sure that that street, among others, is beautiful for all of our residents and visitors. Next, we move on to the Mcnab Road. Well, actually, we've got a couple of different bridge projects which we're working on at Pompano Beach. One is Mcnab Road. Mcnab Road for many years has needed a facelift. And finally, because of our GO bond, we can actually improve the look of our Mcnab Road. But as part of that, we're also rebuilding the bridge. And what's really exciting about that is our staff has worked diligently and partnered with Fort Lauderdale, hopefully, so we can raise the bridge on Mcnab Road to allow additional boat traffic back and forth underneath that bridge. So not only are we going to have a better looking roadway, we're actually going to have better access for the waterways, so it's a plus. Another bridge project we have happening right now is our Southeast 5th Avenue Bridge. Here again, that bridge, it needed replacement for many years. Finally, through our GO bond, we're able to replace it, and here again, we're raising that bridge. Back in the Cypress Harbor area, which that bridge serves, is going to allow boats to really move back and forth and have much higher clearance. In fact, it's going to be equal to the Federal Highway Bridge. If you've been to the beach any time in the recent days, you've noticed that our lifeguard stands are completely updated. Our old lifeguard stands, they were outdated, antiquated, and actually they needed replacement. But rather than just replace it with what we had before, here again, in keeping with the Make Pompano Beach Better, we actually made our lifeguard stands showpieces for Pompano Beach. In fact, our lifeguard stands have been copied by other municipalities because they realize what a good look it is for our beach. In addition to that, we've also focused on our ocean rescue lifeguard headquarters down at the beach. We've redone that, and we're adding a second story to allow for classroom space, storage space, to make it much more functional to make sure that our folks who go to the beach are safe. Moving on, Amphitheater. Our amphitheater has been there for many years, but it was time for an upgrade there as well, and to make it more usable. Our amphitheater, it's a great facility. It's got great acoustics, lots of seats, but part of the problem is it didn't have a cover. So people in inclement weather, they couldn't really utilize the facility. Now, part of our GO-Bond projects was the amphitheater roof covering, which is ongoing as we speak. It's going to allow the amphitheater much more usability to be used 365 days a year, basically, rain and shine. Moving on, we've got our Senior Citizen Center. For many years, there's been a need in our community for our seniors to have someplace to go to do things. Now, we've used our community centers as a stopgap measure, basically, but a full-fledged senior center where it's geared for senior population, for programs, for all types of activities, just strictly for seniors, that was needed. So we identified a spot in our northwest section where, yes, now that our seniors will have someplace to go all their own. Fire rescue, fire stations. Nothing's more important for a government to deliver than public safety. And public safety is important to everybody who lives here and visits here. Fire rescue operations have changed over the past 50 years. No longer is it just a bunch of guys hanging out at the firehouse. Now we've got an integrated mix of men and women working in our fire rescue, and our stations needed upgrading. As part of the process, we needed to accommodate separate changing rooms, separate living quarters. So we've updated several of our fire stations already, and we're going to make sure that we update all of them for current needs, but also into the future. This is an investment now that's going to last us probably 50 years. Very good. Let's move on to our parks project. One of the first parks projects I'd like to highlight is the Mcnab Park. That's a complete redo with synthetic fields. We're actually adding baseball fields to the process also, so that it'd be multi-use. New bleachers, sports lighting, new scoreboard. It's going to be a showpiece. That park has needed an upgrade for years. Like most of our facilities, we're really playing catch-up, but it's because of the GO bond that we're able to do this. And thank you to the residents of Pompano Beach who supported the GO bond. They realized the need for the infrastructure investments, and we are delivering. As I said, we're on time, on budget on our projects. Next park project is Mcnair Park. Mcnair Park is a tremendous, tremendous redo of that park. I'll tell you what, it is going to be a huge addition to that area. We are going to be adding an Olympic-sized 8-lane track in the school board property, which is to the north there. We've got an agreement with the school board to be able to utilize that property, so we'll have an Olympic-type track there, so for track and field events, so we can actually hold meets and things like that. In addition to that, the football field itself, it's going to be in a special blue color, which we had to actually get permission from Boise State University to utilize that color. That is their color. This is the only field like it in this area, so it's really going to set us apart. Here again, we've got bleachers, concession area, concession building, all types of things surrounding the entire complex that are being redone. It's under construction right now. The track portion is going to be starting a little later, not later this year, because we have to finalize some agreements, but it's going to be a huge, huge upgrade to that park. Moving over to the east a little bit, Centennial Park. That's the home of the Sam McDougal House right now. We knew there was a need there for a pavilion so that we could better utilize that entire facility for weddings and any type of get-together, so we could really make that a functional park and usable for everyone who wants to go and visit the Sam McDougal House as well. So we got this gazebo, which it's more than a gazebo, but it's going to be a valuable addition to that park. It's under construction right now. The Youth Sports Complex. Now this is at the site of the old Elks property, right there at the corner of 10th Street and 5th Avenue. And if you've lived here for any length of time, you realize that, okay, that's a big piece of property. And we knew that, but there's a big need in Pompano Beach and other communities throughout South Florida for flat fields. Soccer is growing in popularity, lacrosse is growing in popularity, all of these flat field sports, in addition to football and things of that nature. So we knew we had the need for these fields, so now we've got the opportunity to actually increase our flat field acreage, which we're going to do in this project. In addition to that, we got a special clubhouse, which is pictured here, which is going to be drop-dead gorgeous. I mean, it really is. But it's been designed in such a way that we can expand it from the original 4,000 square feet, which it's going to be constructed at now. We can expand it to almost double that size as the need for additional space is shown in that facility. So we're thinking ahead, not just doing today's projects, but we're thinking ahead to make sure that these last for generations. Mlk Boulevard. If anybody's been down that road, you realize it's been torn up like nobody's business. It really has. And with all of these projects, let me assure you that construction is disruptive. And we know that, but we try and keep it to an absolute minimum. Mlk Boulevard, there's no way around it. We had to block lanes and move lanes and things like that. It's a major project. We're adding streetscape improvements, landscaping, drainage, sewage, I mean, all types of improvements along that road because it's needed it for a long time. But here's the good news. It's actually being finalized quicker than expected, and it's going to be under budget. So thanks to the city staff, and especially Horatio Danovich, who is overseeing all these projects for us, for making these types of improvements happen, and happen quickly, and on budget, and under budget in this situation. But it should be completed very, very shortly. All right, let's move on to the future. The future of Pompano Beach is the Innovation District. That's an area that it is bordered by Atlantic Boulevard, north to Mlk Boulevard, from Dixie Highway west to I-95. This is envisioned as the new downtown for Pompano Beach. And it's Pompano Beach, we've had a pseudo downtown in our old Pompano Beach area, but that's not really a downtown. The Innovation District we envision as the true heart and soul of Pompano Beach going forward, the economic center of our city. We plan to have restaurants, office space, hotel, convention center. Part of the plan for that area is to actually add drainage, which is important, but not just storm drainage, not just storm grates and things like that. We plan to incorporate a series of canals in that area to make it a usable water feature and provide the drainage. Part of the key with one of our projects that we're embarking along is Dixie Highway, which Dixie Highway is right adjacent to this Innovation District, which is critically important. So the intersection of Atlantic Boulevard and Dixie Highway, we've got big plans for that intersection to make it more pedestrian friendly, so it'll allow access to the Innovation District from all other quadrants of our city. So this is an exciting project that's coming. It's not yet coming out of the ground, but we've got plans for it, and we expect somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 billion of development in the Innovation District. It's truly transformative for our community, and it's in the drawing boards. We're looking forward to it coming out shortly. It's out for bid. Now, moving up to the Crest Haven Highlands area, we've got the Charlotte Burry Civic Center. If you recall, former Vice Mayor Charlotte Burry served on this commission for many years, and she was elected from District 2 up there in the Highlands, the Crest Haven area. And the folks up there, they decided they wanted the Civic Center named after Charlotte Burry, which rightfully so. And the Charlotte Burry Civic Center, it's completed. It was completed right before the pandemic struck. Unfortunately, we had the ribbon cutting there, but it hasn't been able to be used yet. Once we can open things back up after the pandemic, which will be happening very soon, we can start to really utilize that center. But it's beautiful, state of the art. Here again, it was a needed upgrade to the area. The folks up in that area, they had been told during the annexation process that this was coming, so finally it actually came to be, and it is a beautiful facility and will be a great addition to our community. So now let's move. That's some of what's going on, and trust me, that's just some of what's going on the public side. We've got other projects which I don't have time to cover today, but we are actively moving on all of our GO bond projects in addition to our regular capital improvement projects, which are standard. Every year we have projects we deal with. But now let's transition. Let's talk a little bit about private investment in the city of Pompano Beach. One of the reasons we did the public investment and we put forth the GO bonds and things of that nature is because that sends the message to the private industry out there that the city of Pompano Beach is serious about our community. We're willing to invest in our own city. If we're willing to invest in our own city, that tells the private industries out there that that's the place they want to invest in because they see a city that's on the move. So let's talk a little bit about private investment in the city of Pompano Beach. One project that I'm sure everybody is familiar with is the Koi project right on Atlantic Boulevard. In fact, you can almost hit it with a rock from City Hall. It's drop dead gorgeous. It is cutting edge. It's a work of art, not just an apartment complex, but it's the Koi project right along Atlantic Boulevard, the two towers. Also, there's townhomes in the back, and there's future development which will be happening just adjacent to it, just to the east of it, right there up to, I believe it's Fifth Avenue. But yes, this is private investment. This was done by a gentleman by the name of Chris Longsworth. He actually came to Pompano Beach many years ago. This piece of property was vacant. It actually had the Spectrum. It was called the Spectrum Building. Was there for many years, but it was basically it's a rundown, blighted area. Chris Longsworth came to Pompano. He listened to our vision. He heard what Pompano Beach had in store in the years to come, and he decided to plant his shovel in the ground, invest. And this is when no other developers were coming to Pompano Beach, and he had a dream to build this project. Unfortunately, he did not live to see the completion of this project. He's passed away. But this gentleman, he put a shovel in the ground in Pompano Beach and said, "This is where I'm going to make my stand." And for that, I thank him. And it is a marvelous piece of architecture, and there's more yet to come. All right, another great project which is coming down the road. This is a private development. It's downtown Pompano Apartments. It's basically over in the heart of our old Pompano downtown area. Here again, we've got the Adache Group. They came and they have decided to take active part in what's happening in the Pompano Beach redevelopment in the heart of our CRA over there. It's going to be luxury apartments with a parking garage. The apartments will completely surround the parking garage. It's 10 stories, mixed use. We've got 200 residential units. We've got ground floor. We'll have commercial. It is going to be a showpiece. The renderings and the architecture that they've already put forth is beautiful. And that's the kind of thing that we're looking for in Pompano Beach. With everything that we've done in Pompano Beach, be it from the beach area where our parking garage is, all of the improvements to Mlk Boulevard, to the senior center, all of the projects that we as a city are embarking upon, we are making them better than what you have to. We are saying that Pompano Beach has a different standard, and that's the reason we did that. Is if we can set the standard for ourselves, we can demand standards from the private investment groups like this project right here. And we can demand that we get better architecture, better finishes, better overall investment in our community. And it's paying off. We set the standard high for our own projects, and people are coming along and saying, okay, we'll meet your standard. Next project we have is Aqua One. That's over in the beach area. High rise, you're talking 17 residential lofts, 9-story building. It's just another example of a beautiful building that's coming to Pompano Beach, and it's a result of what we have invested in our community. Private investment is coming. Here's another one. Well, this is actually completed now, but Sabia Beach, the Sabia Hotel or condominium over on the beach area, and it's beautiful. You can see the architecture that people are bringing to Pompano Beach is different than what we had in years gone by. Before it was square boxes, and you know, I'm not trying to say that the existing buildings are not attractive. They are, but the kind of architecture we're getting now, it sets Pompano Beach apart, and that's really what we looked for in the future. Now, let's move on to, here again, this is private investment, folks. Private investment. We have got, here again, another $1 billion of development is going to be taking place out at the intersection of Power Line and Racetrack Road, the Isle Casino property. The Cordish Company has come and partnered with the Isle of Capri. Well, it was originally Isle of Capri, but since morphed into other, I believe it's Caesars now. The casino outfit out there, and they are going to develop that property. They're actually going to be getting rid of the harness track and the racing and that type stuff. They have plans to incorporate highlight into the actual gaming component of it, and that frees up the land space to actually have this major development. We being the city of Pompano Beach, knew many, many years ago that property surrounding the racetrack would actually house some sort of development at some point in time. But with what they now have planned, it is absolutely going to set Pompano Beach apart. The concept is called LIVE. That's L-I-V-E exclamation point, Live Resorts. And this is something that the Cordish Corporation has done around the country in various locations, and it is a signature type development where they will have hotels, they'll have restaurants, they'll have recreational components. I mean, it is going to be a city inside our city. We're talking 4,000 residential units, and they're still going to have the casino there, still going to have the highlight, they're still going to have all that. There's plans for a tri-rail station. We're talking about a mega city within the city of Pompano Beach, and this is the kind of thing that happens when you set some plans, you have some vision, and you actually execute on those plans and vision and keep moving forward. And that's what we've got in the city of Pompano Beach. We've been lucky for a number of years to have a great commission, great staff working together to move our city forward. And people see that, and they see the stability, they see the vision of what you want. And people actually deliver when you've got good vision like that. Okay, this goes back over to our beach area. This is all private development. This is the Harbor NYC Riverside Promenade. It's just on the east side of the Intercoastal Bridge on the southeast corner. It's actually, I believe it's going to be 2 different restaurants. It's open air seating. It's just a wonderful facility. And this ties in with what we actually did here again on the public side. We actually put a promenade underneath the Atlantic Boulevard Bridge so people can walk from the south side on the southeast corner. They can walk to the northeast corner. And it's a beautiful promenade down there with great artwork done by Dennis Friel, which wraps the actual bridge abutments down there. So this is the kind of thing that happens when we take pride in our city. People come, they build these types of facilities, they open these types of businesses. Now, moving, of course, to our fishing village. That's been in the works now for a number of years, and anything that is worth doing sometimes can take time, and this has. But the reason it's taken time is because our partner developers have been looking for the right mix of businesses down there. What we've got down there right now is we've got the Beach House restaurant, we've got the Oceanic restaurant. They're open for business. We've got Lucky Fish, which is owned by the same folks as the Oceanic. So we've got businesses flourishing down there right now, but we've got more to come. We've got Cannoli Kitchen open, or I believe they're under construction, but we've got BurgerFi and Kilwins are actually open for business. Alvin's Island is open for business, but there's still construction happening down there. We've got Hilton True and Home 2 Suites. That's a dual-branded hotel which is being constructed down there. It's still under construction. Hope to be finished in almost any month right now, May, June 2021. They're moving forward with it, but it's been delayed a little bit. But here again, this is private development. They've got their own time frame. But down there, we still have more to come in the Pompano Beach Fishing Village area. There's talk of a Mexican restaurant, which is in permitting. It's going to be exciting. And also, and just to talk about the Fishing Village a little bit, what really made the Fishing Village happen and possible was our parking garage. At one point in time, people kind of laughed at us and said, whoa, you don't need a parking garage. There's nothing going on at the beach area. But without the parking garage that this city took the step to build, the parking wouldn't have been there to support the restaurants that are now being built and operated. So you've got to decide where you want to go as a city. And we made the decision that we wanted to develop our city in a thoughtful approach, and we did that. But we also, like I said, we wanted to make sure Pompano Beach was different than other communities, so we set the standard high. We've got our parking garage, which has sails. It's a beautiful show. It's won awards. But without that parking garage, though, we wouldn't have the Pompano Beach Fishing Village that we now have. All right, so that's just a little bit about what's been happening in the city of Pompano Beach. But you know what we're really doing in Pompano Beach is we're generating new jobs. We're protecting our citizens' hard-earned dollars. That's what it's really about. It's the residents, the business owners. They pay taxes in the city of Pompano Beach, and we are very, very aware of that and very, very sensitive to that. So jobs are key because our residents need jobs, of course, to make money, but also taxpayer dollars are precious. So we've actually made several policy decisions at the city commission level to make sure that we're doing the best for our residents, the best for our city. We passed ordinances for dealing with unlawful lodging. We're working hard, actually, with Broward County. Of course, our former mayor, Lamar Fisher, he is now County Commissioner Lamar Fisher, so we've got an automatic tie-in there with our county commissioner, but also we have been active with all of the county commissioners on various issues because the county, of course, has a big impact on what happens in the city of Pompano Beach. Our city staff works every day to make sure that the dollars we pay in Pompano Beach go as far as possible, and part of that is our CRS rating. That actually dictates what our flood insurance rates will be, and it's a huge, huge benefit that our staff has worked hard to make sure that our CRS rating is as high as possible, so the flood insurance rates are as low as possible, and also the fire insurance rates. That's critically important also. And yes, we also, as a benefit to all of our veterans, we have actually established veteran parking spaces. So we've been working hard to make sure that our residents' lives are good and positive and moving forward and just watching out for our tax dollars. Pompano Beach at work. Well, I'll tell you what, even though we've been going through a pandemic, which we have, and regrettably we've suffered, but our property values, City of Pompano Beach property values have been going through the roof. We've got our properties are selling in 91 days or less. I mean, it's a hot real estate market, but Pompano Beach, really, we are at the top edge of the real estate market. Our properties are appreciating better and faster. In addition to that, our millage rate is one of the lowest. It's in the lower third of the county. So when people talk about taxes that they pay in Pompano Beach, I'm very proud of what we do as a city as far as watching out for your tax dollars. We deliver the services that people need, the safety, the public safety, and still, our tax rate is at the lower third in the entire county. Our crime rate has declined. I mean, we are working hard every day as a city to make sure the quality of life for everyone in Pompano Beach is as high as possible. So that's our update. Now, if anyone has any further questions, of course you can contact me, but if you really want to get the best answers, please contact Horatio Danovich. He is our CIP, GO-Bond Projects Manager. He has been integral in every one of these projects, the planning, the execution, the making sure the dollars are taken care of. But if you want additional information, you can go to the city's website. We've got a fantastic public information campaign about the GO-Bond projects. We do mailers. We update our website every month, well, actually on a daily basis oftentimes. So yes, we know it's critically important to make sure that the public knows what's happening about this, how their tax dollars are being spent. So you can go to the website, look for the mailers. I know Sandra King, she's been getting those types of things going, making sure the information's out there and available to the public. But like I said, any particular questions on projects, feel free to give Horatio Danovich a call. This is his number. So thank you very much for your time. I know the presentation covered a lot, but like I said, that's really just scratching the surface of what's going on in Pompano Beach, where there's a lot of stuff happening. It's exciting times for our city. It's exciting times for the future of our city. And I'm proud to be the mayor, but I'm so thankful that the residents put their trust in me and my fellow city commissioners to lead this city. But now I'd like to turn it back over to the chamber to finish up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm Rosanna Meyer. I'm the broker owner of Meyer Realty & Associates. I also have the honor of serving as your chair this year for the Greater Pompano Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, Mayor, again, for your insightful update. It's impressive what the city has continued to accomplish throughout this past 16 months. Please share the Chamber's acknowledgement and appreciation with all the hardworking employees who have kept the city going. Congratulations also on the progress of GO-Bond initiatives. Thank you for all these valued members, and on behalf of the board, the chamber members, and our community, go Pompano. Thank you.